guys, and welcome back to another video here with Angel B Designs. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Before we get started on what we're doing today, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share my content with your friends if you think that I provide valuable information that they may like. Okay, so what we're doing today. I originally said I was not going to buy this Cricut Mug Press because I have a convection oven. So I just felt like, why do I need that? I have a convection oven. It works just fine for the mugs, the tumblers, all of that. So I was like, I don't need that. But then of course there was a lot of rumors going around. You can only, like I've heard, you can only use the Cricut mugs to in this machine. It only work with the Cricut mugs. I've heard a whole bunch of different things. So me being me, I like to find things out for myself. I like to test things out for myself. I don't sell my crafts. So sometimes, like if I want to make a mug for myself, or sometimes I make them for family, friends, whatever, I don't feel like pulling down my convection oven. Like if I just need to do one mug, like one cup. This looked a lot sleeker, smaller, nicer. So I'm like, why not? I'll try it. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go ahead and unbox the Cricut Mug Press. We're going to test it. I have two mugs we're going to try it with today. This is a mug that I got from Etsy. So it's a Sublimation mug that I purchased from Etsy. I can't remember the name of the shop I got it from off the top of my head. But it's just one off of Etsy. And then I have the Cricut brand Sublimation mugs that they released to go along with this mug press. So I'm going to do one of these. And I'm going to do this one, the one from Etsy. And we're going to see if there's a difference. And we're going to go ahead and test it out to see if this Cricut Mug Press only works with Cricut mugs. Which, me personally, I doubt it. But we're going to test it out and see what happens. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unbox it. And I'm also going to give my, you know, honest review as far as, is this better than a convection oven? But, you know, without testing this first, I really haven't watched any videos on this. I've only been kind of like in the Facebook groups, reading people's comments, reading people's posts, things like that. But I haven't watched any like tutorials or anything on it. Okay, so first thing right here, it says open me. Obviously, this is probably the manual, the instructions, you know, all that good stuff. And I do believe you have to go online to set it up. Yeah, you have to go online to set it up. So I'll do that off camera. But I'll go ahead and take it out of the box on camera with you guys. And so far, just picking it up, this is lighter than a convection oven. For sure. Now, when I'm not using my convection oven, I put it on the top shelf in my office. And like I said, if I just have one mug I need to do for myself or a friend or my mom or whatever, I don't be feeling like pulling that stupid thing down from that top shelf. I really don't. So just off the top of my head, thinking about this, if you craft as a business and you do multiple mugs at a time or multiple tumblers at a time, I don't think this is going to work for you. I think realistically a convection oven will work because you can put more than one in at a time. That's just, you know, I feel like that's just common sense. But for somebody like me who just crafts when I feel like it and I don't necessarily sell my crafts, you know, this might be something I prefer over a convection oven because like I said, when I do mugs and stuff, most of the time it's like one or two and that's it. I don't do multiple. I don't do more than two at a time ever. So that's just my little thought process Okay. So I don't have it turned on yet. I'm gonna go ahead and set it up. So what I'm gonna do, I have it unboxed. It's on my craft table now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get it set up online. I'm gonna go to the you have to go to cricut.com/setup. I'm gonna go ahead and get it set up, and I will come back when I'm ready to sub on these mugs. Okay guys, so I'm back here. I did go ahead and activate my mug press. Now to do that, they do include a USB cord in the box as well. I didn't originally see it when I first opened the box. But you go to cricut.com/setup. You can do it through Cricut Design Space. So you can just go to, if you have, I'm assuming you have a Cricut Design Space, go to Cricut Design Space, go to Set Up New Machine, and then you're gonna have the cutting machines, and then you're gonna have a heat press. This would be considered a heat press. Click on the heat press and you'll see the Cricut mug press, and then you just set it up. You plug it into your computer or your desktop with the USB cord that they provided, and then you just go ahead and set it up. You have to do that in order for this to register and start to heat up. If you try to just plug it in and turn it on, it won't get hot. So you have to do that. Okay, so I've done that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get set up with pressing these. I'm just gonna press my podcast logo onto these mugs. I printed off 2 of them. They're the exact same image because, like I said, we're gonna do a compare contrast with an Etsy mug and the Cricut Sublimation mug. Now this says, Cricut says that this is for infusible ink, but if you have saw some of my previous videos about infusible ink, it's basically the same thing. Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to work, but let's go ahead and see. I'm right-handed, so when I'm making my designs that's like one-sided on my cups, I hold it in my right hand and I'm going to put it on the outside of the cup. So I'm going to put my image here. And I actually made this picture entirely too big. Let me see here. We can work with it. I did make it too big, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off these words here, and it'll work just fine. Like I said, I don't sell my crafts. I'm making this for myself, so I can make the adjustments as I see fit. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead the same way we've taped this before. I'm using my Cricut heat resistant tape here. You want to make sure you pull it tight. Even though we're not wrapping it all the way down, you still want to make sure you're pulling it tight and there's no air bubbles or anything. And then we're just going to tape it down. Okay, so what I'm also going to do is get a piece of butcher paper, because I'm using a sub paper, and I will link down everything that I'm using down below in the description box, but the ink sometimes comes through and I don't want it to get on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of butcher paper and tape it down as well to the mug. This would also be considered the same thing as some people call it blowout paper, craft paper, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing. So I'm just going to tape a piece of butcher paper to the outside of the mug so that if any ink comes through, it does not get on the inside of my little padding here on my press. Okay, so on this, let me show you the actual setup of the press before we stick our mug in there. There's only one button. There's a power button. That's basically it. this is the clamp to tighten it and to loosen it. You put the mug in here, the handle sticks out obviously right here. You push it down to create the pressure and start the press. There's only a power button, that's it. You turn it on, it heats up to whatever it feels like it should be heated up to, and then that's it. How you know it's done pressing, you can either time it yourself or it shuts off when it's ready to shut off. I believe, I want to say it's like 5 minutes. I'm not for sure, I haven't done it, so I'm gonna time it, but I do think it's about 5 minutes that it presses before it turns off, but we'll go ahead and double check that. But that's the setup of it. There's no buttons, just a power button, that's it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just slide it down in there. It's hot, so be careful. Okay, and we're going to push this down. And now it has started. So what I'm seeing here is these little dots on top. Let me see if I can bring you in closer so you can see. This dot here is blinking since I just started it. So I'm going to assume when all of these are done blinking, that means it's done. And there's 5 dots, which would equate to probably 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this do its thing. Once this shuts off, the Cricut Mug Press shuts off, I will come back and we'll take the paper off and we'll look at it. Now this is the first one that I'm doing. The first mug that I'm doing is the one from Etsy. So this is, we still have our Cricut Mug Presses, or I'm sorry, our Cricut mugs in here in the box. We're gonna do this Etsy one first, then we're gonna do the Cricut brand, and we're gonna see the difference, and we're gonna go ahead and see if this will sublimate onto one with sublimation ink versus the Cricut infusible ink, as well as a different brand of sublimation mug versus just the Cricut brand. Okay, so I will let this do its thing and come back when it's done. Okay, so my little beeper just went off. All the little lights lit up. They were blinking and then they all lit up, and then once the last one was done, it started beeping and it went off, and I had to come open this up. And it was about 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. It's hot, be careful when you do it. So here's what it looks like. I don't see any ink on the inside of the thing, so the butcher paper helped. It did kind of burn my butcher paper a little bit. So hopefully it didn't burn my picture, my image. The handle really isn't all that hot. It's a little warm, but it's not hot. So I can go ahead and take this off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove my tape. Ooh, this mug is steaming though. Okay, wow, that looks really, really good. Okay, so here is the image. That looks really, really good. Let me turn this, my ring light down so it doesn't glare. But that looks really, really good. Okay, so this was 5 minutes in the mug press. This is an Etsy mug. I will link down my paper, my ink, and all of that down below, but it does take Etsy mugs and it does take sublimation ink, no problem. Okay, so here is the first mug. Let me go ahead and turn this back on. But yeah, that looks really, really good. Definitely happy with that. Colors are popping, vibrant, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna set that off to the side. So because that one worked no problem, I'm pretty confident that this Cricut mug is gonna work no problem. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to do the exact same thing, and 2 come in a box. And right now these are 50% off. Today is March 22nd. I bought this yesterday, March 21st, and they were on sale. Okay, so here's the Cricut mug. It has a sticker, Cricut sticker on the bottom. Looks like a normal white mug. I'm going to go ahead and get my image taped on this the exact same way. I'm going to cover it with butcher paper. I'm going to go ahead and press it, and we're going to do a side by side. Okay, so stick around for that. Okay, so the timer or the alarm for this is going off. And all the little lights are blinking, which is letting me know that it's ready. That's the beeper telling me to go ahead and take the mug out. So you just lift this up and it loosens this, and then you can just pull it up. The handle isn't hot. Now the cup is steaming hot, but the handle is pretty warm. Isn't hot at all. Okay. So same thing like I did before. I'm just gonna go ahead and peel my tape up, and we are going to see how it looks. That's the butcher paper. Now let me get this tape. Oh wow, that looks good too. Okay, and there is the second one. This is the Cricut brand. I think it looks exactly the same. Let me go ahead and turn this down so it doesn't glare. But this is the Cricut Mug Press with the Sublimation ink. So let's do a side by side. Whoop, that cup is hot. This one is still a little warm too. I'm trying to figure out. Nope, I can't hold it. It's too hot. Okay, let me put on my gloves because these little cups not about to burn my hands up. Okay, so here is the mugs side by side. This is the Etsy mug. This is the Cricut mug. Okay, side by side comparison. They look identical. There's really no difference. Etsy mug, Cricut mug. Both used with the same paper, same ink. Let me turn my ring light back on so you can see it better. There's just going to be a little bit of a glare, but you can see how vibrant the colors are, and they look identical. So yes, you can use any sublimation mug in this Cricut press. I just ordered some mugs from Amazon that I wanted to try out. I'm going to do a sublimation haul from Amazon. So I did order some. They'll be here this week, and I will go ahead and try that one in this mug press for you guys as well, just to see if the ones from Amazon also work. But I don't see why they wouldn't, unless the actual mug is not sublimated, like sublimation coated. That would be the only reason it doesn't work. Okay, but side by side comparison, they look exactly the same. Now again, my thoughts on it would be, is this better than a convection oven? I don't know if it's better or worse. I'm trying to put myself in the thing so y'all can see me talk. I'm not sure if this isn't better or worse as far as quality. Okay, looking at this, it looks exactly how it would look if I put this in a convection oven. So the quality of the mug is the same. It's more so what works for you. Okay, so like I said, for me, because I don't sell my crafts, using this could be easier for me because it's lighter. It's not as heavy. I can bring it down from my top shelf with no problem. Versus, what do you need, babe? I'm doing a video. Versus trying to pull down my convection oven. This is lighter, it's sleeker, it's easier to store, it's easier to maneuver, it's easier to move from one side of my office to the other if I only have to do one cup. But if you craft as a business and you sell your mugs, doing one at a time probably is not going to be practical for you. Whereas a convection oven, you can kind of stick 4 or 5 inside of a convection oven and get more done. The time is going to be obviously quicker than 5 minutes. In a convection oven, I think you have to do somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes, but you can do 4 at a time. So even if you did in 15 minutes, you would still only get 3 done, whereas in 15 minutes you could get 4 done in a convection oven. So if you craft as a business and you sell these and you make them in bulk, I would probably go with a convection oven. If you don't do them in bulk, if you do maybe a couple at a time, 1 or 2 at a time, and really that's it, then this might work for you. So it really just depends. It also depends on your budget. A convection oven, I think I paid $80 for mine. This Cricut Mug Press was $200. So if it's not in your budget, then a convection oven would also be more practical because it costs less. So it being worth it really depends on the person's needs. So those are my thoughts on it. I am going to try a tumbler in here as well and see how that works. Of course, I will record it and do all of that for you guys on camera. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down below. If you have any video ideas or anything you would like me to do with the Cricut Mug Press, definitely drop that down below and I'll see if I can get it out for you. But the quality of these mugs are very, very good. I'm happy. Like I said, I craft for myself, so this is going to be functional for me. But again, I don't sell my crafts. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.